For today's video, we're gonna talk about rational function. This video is presented to you by John Marco M. Santiago from Section 11 Jobs. What is rational function? Rational function is a function that is written as the ratio of two polynomial functions. It is presented in the form of f of x is equal to p of x divided by q of x, where the polynomial function q of x is not equal to 0, because if it is equal to 0, then the function is undefined. How do we solve rational functions? In solving rational functions, we need to find the following: the domain and range, the intercepts, the zeros, the asymptotes, and the graph. Here are some examples of rational functions that we are going to solve. Let us first solve the example number 1, which is f of x is equal to 3x plus 12 divided by 2x minus 4. Let us find the domain and range of the function. For the domain, all you need to do is to equate the denominator of the function to 0. Therefore, 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. Then 2x is equal to 4. Then x is equal to 4 divided by 2. Then x is equal to 2. This means that the domain includes all the values in the positive and negative infinity except for 2. So let us find the range of the function. For the range of the function, the first thing you need to do is to find the inverse of the function. Here is the inverse of the function. The first step here is to let f of x as y. Then interchange the variable x and y. Then you need to cross multiply. Then you need to solve y in terms of x. Then factor out y. Then divide 4x plus 12 by 2x minus 3. Here is the inverse of the function. The inverse of x is equal to 4x plus 12 divided by 2x minus 3. Always remember that the domain of the inverse is the range of the function. Therefore, you need to equate the denominator of the inverse to 0. So 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, then 2x is equal to positive 3, then x is equal to 3 over 2. This means that the range includes all the values in the positive and negative infinity except for 3 over 2. Now let us find the intercepts of the function. For the x-intercept, you need to let y equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 3x plus 12 over 2x minus 4, which resulted to 0 is equal to 3x plus 12. Then subtract both sides by 12, so 3x is equal to negative 12. Then x is equal to negative 12 divided by 3, then x is equal to negative 4. Therefore, the x-intercept of the function is 4, 0 inside a parenthesis. For the y-intercept of the function, you need to let x equal to 0. So f of 0 is equal to 3 times 0 plus 12 divided by 2 times 0 minus 4. So y is equal to 12 divided by negative 4. Then y is equal to negative 3. Therefore, the y-intercept of the function is 0, negative 3 inside the parenthesis. Now let us find the 0 of the function. For the 0 of the function, you need to equate the numerator to 0. So 3x plus 12 is equal to 0, then 3x is equal to negative 12, then x is equal to negative 12 divided by 3. Therefore, the 0 of the function is x equal to negative 4. Now let us solve for the asymptotes of the function. For the vertical asymptote, we need to equate the denominator of the function to 0. Therefore, 2x minus 4 is equal to 0, then 2x is equal to positive 4, then x is equal to 4 divided by 2. Therefore, the vertical asymptote of the function is x is equal to positive 2. For the horizontal asymptote, we need to divide the dominant terms from the numerator and the denominator. Therefore, y is equal to 3x over 2x since these are the dominant terms. Then cancel out x, which results to y is equal to 3 over 2. Therefore, the horizontal asymptote of the function is y equals to 3 over 2. The last thing we need to do is to find the graph of the function. Using any online graphing tool, this is the graph of the function. Now, let us try to solve the example number 2, which is f of x is equal to 1 over x plus 8. So now, let us find the domain and range of the function. For the domain, always remember that we need to equate the denominator to 0. So x plus 8 is equal to 0, then x is equal to negative 8. Therefore, the domain includes all the value in the positive and negative infinity except for negative 8. Now for the range. Remember that we need to find the inverse of the function to find the range. So here is the inverse of the function. The first thing we did is to let f of x as y, then interchange the variable x and y. Then we cross multiply, which resulted to yx plus 8x equal to 1. Then solve for y in terms of x, so yx is equal to negative 8x plus 1. Then divide both sides by x, so y is equal to negative 8x plus 1 over x. So the inverse of the function is equal to negative 8x plus 1 over x. Remember that the domain of the inverse is the range of the function. So we need to equate the denominator of the inverse to 0. So x is equal to 0. Therefore, the range of the function includes all the values in the positive and negative infinity except for 0. Now let us find the x and y intercepts of the function. For the x-intercept, we need to let y be equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 1 over x plus 8, then we need to cross multiply, which results to 0 is equal to 1. Since 0 is not equal to 1, therefore the function has no x-intercept. Now for the y-intercept, let x be equal to 0. So y is equal to 1 over 0 plus 8, then y is equal to 1 over 8. Therefore, the y-intercept of the function is 0, 1 over 8 inside the parentheses. So now, let us find the zeros of the function. To find the zero of the function, we need to let y be equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 1 over x plus 8, then we cross multiply. So the answer is 0 is equal to 1. Since 0 is not equal to 1, therefore the function has no 0. So now, let us find the asymptotes of the function. To find the vertical asymptote, we need to equate the denominator to 0. So x plus 8 is equal to 0. Therefore, the vertical asymptote of the function is x equal to negative 8. So now, for the horizontal asymptote, since the numerator has no dominant term and the denominator has a dominant term, therefore the horizontal asymptote is y equal to 0. It is also because the degree of the denominator is greater than the degree of the numerator. And the last thing that we need to find is the graph of the function. Just like in example number 1, when using an online graphing tool, this is the graph of the function. So, the application of rational function. Why is it important that we should learn and study rational function? Rational function is important. It is important because studying and learning it helps in many studies. It helps us have a better understanding of the situation and it helps us find the needed outcome. It is very important because studying rational function helps us in our day-to-day lives. It helps predict results in different situations. Here is an example of an application of rational function. Here is the problem. The ambulance should arrive in the hospital in 40 minutes or else the patient dies. The speed of the vehicle is presented as s of t is equal to 20 plus 20 multiplied to t squared over 10 times t. The question is, how fast does the ambulance need to be in kilometers per hour to get to the hospital in 30 minutes? So here is the solution of the problem. Since t represents time where t should be in kilometers per hour, we need to divide 30 by 60, which is equal to 0.5 hour. So let t be equal to 0.5. So by inputting 0.5 as the value of t, we can find the speed of the ambulance. So speed is equal to 60 plus 20 multiplied to 0.5 squared over 10 multiplied to 0.5. Then speed is equal to 60 plus 20 multiplied to 0.25 over 5. Then equals to 60 plus 5 over 5, which is 59 plus 1. Then speed is equal to 60. Thus, the ambulance should have a speed of 60 kilometers per hour to arrive in the hospital in 30 minutes.